Can you believe it's amazing sunshine here? We cannot wait to get into the greenhouse and just look at generally at how everything's doing. So the verbena is in full bloom, doing its thing. There will be a lot of spiders, but the tomatoes are out of the roof practically. I can see some, quite a lot of red in amongst the green, and still loads of flowers. So if the weather can hold, we'll have more tomatoes for a while yet anyway. And this is the first crop of apples. These trees, these apple trees, we've got in raised beds. The beans underneath are pretty much, I can see some beans, are pretty much finished. A big handful of beans here, which will make a nice salad niçoise. So when the eggs get going, I'll drop them in. Come on then, you can show your collar. Hi everyone, and welcome to this week. My first day into the cabin, spent yesterday enjoying the garden. Rocket, I'm just going to grab him. Are you coming in? Rock? Oh. Rocket's had his bath and he's sporting, I hope you can see, Rocket, show them. And he's sporting his Cornish traditional tartan collar, aren't you? He's in a very quiet mood. I think he's you sulking a bit because we left you behind? He hates the car and he's not very good travelling at all. We did have an experience of losing him at the Channel Tunnel, can you believe? So that kind of signalled no more taking Rocket with us. But he's absolutely fine, aren't you? You're a bit sleepy. I think he's very busy at the kennels, and he's catching up on his rest. I'm putting him back down. But the collar fits, so that's good. And I had one or two comments about Cornish tartan, and I didn't know that Cornish tartan existed, but there are 3 varieties, and we opted for the traditional one. And now I'm wishing I bought a tartan blanket, although it's beautiful, beautiful weather today. So, I digress. Back in the cabin, I am feeling like I need a refresh. Everything I want to refresh. I feel like cutting my hair. I feel like going through the wardrobe. I feel like I'm going to take everything down in the cabin and put up some new paper, new canvas. I'm going to print out the material and put up some of the sketches that I did while we were away, and that I think is going to be the focus for this week, to get some paintings underway. So that's what I'm going to do first. Florals need desperately, I still haven't quite finished, but they do need now desperately to go. Oh my word, I've just uncovered, I forgot all about, oh God, that's so embarrassing. Am I the only one? I've just forgotten all about that pineapple. So, what else might be there? What was I saying? The florals need a little bit of finishing, and I'll put them under the rug press. I need to go down and change. I thought I'd show you. This is, I bought 3 jumpers in St Ives and realised actually this is probably a very easy knit. I could knit this if I had the time, but not as well. No, it would not be as well finished if I made it, because I'd rush it. But I'll show you the other 2 colours. but I thought these were fantastic. I need to go down and pick up some sheets, pick up an apron. I'm jumper mad. I thought I'd share with you my amazing paper drawers. I've had these, and Craig made them how many years? 20 years, maybe more. I've had these paper drawers and they're fantastic. This is where I keep my paper then. This is the Saunders Waterford. This is watercolour paper. 425 GM, £200. I've got a few sheets of that left. I love that paper. And then this is the Snowdon. So the drawers are big enough for the Snowdon 300. So I'm going to take a little wodge of that. So paper for the cabin. While I'm here, I thought I'd just mention, I read Outline by Rachel Cusk, and I didn't know at the time it's part of a trilogy, and the second is Transit. What a fantastic read that is. It's so many stories in a story. Fantastic. So that I finished, and I have been for a long time a great fan of Margaret Atwood. I think I've read every Atwood out there, and Lauren is great at giving me books, and I've always said I'm not very good with short stories. And she gave me recently Old Babes in the Wood. It's a collection of Atwood short stories. So I am now reading some short stories. Well, I've got my paper. I know I've got blank canvases, but I also thought I'll just have a little mosey around in old work to see unfinished things, a few things that are nearly there, the abstract that's just been keeping me company for quite a long time now, the beach paintings. I've got 1, 2, there are 3 of those that I could tweak, and that they might fall in, I don't know. So it's to do with colour palette, landscape, seascape, and I'll turn the camera, and I've got that guy. This is where I'm mostly drawn. I absolutely adore that photograph. This is a 12 by 24, and I think I'm going to have a go at that on there. We'll see. I just want to make a start. I've picked up turquoise blue, and I'm just going to go right across the sort of, not mid, just above the centre line. A brush would be good. So I'm just going to put down and pretty thickly. And what I'll do with the excess paint, I've got some, I've got a mini canvas here. I'm just going to put the excess paint down on there. Don't fall. And then immediately I want to go in titanium white. Van Dyke Brown. What happens when you mix Van Dyke Brown with the blue that's left on the palette? It just knocks it down, it just takes it down to a grey. It really just greys it out. Let's just get a line in there. I'm drawn to Azo Yellow. I think I'll see if I can get some buff straight on the canvas and then pick up a little bit of that Azo. Let's just see. It's potent. That Azo Yellow is really strong stuff. I do like it. So if I go with the yellow and the blue, if I go in, I'll go in again straight on the canvas, and I'm going to pick up a good helping of the Azo Yellow to make me a green. It needs to be darker, it needs to be a darker green. So a darker blue with the Azo, that's a fluorescent blue. Primary blue. How about Prussian? You could go in here with some Prussian blue and pick up more Azo. Gone a bit green phthalo like, or what do we think? So I've got paint all over that canvas. It bears no relation to the colours in the photograph, but I'm not worried about that. What I feel is it's a relief just to get some paint down. Something to work now with rather than that blank canvas. I need to go and get washed up. I can't waste that Azo. That is the most beautiful colour on there. I absolutely adore that. And that's a bit of the green on my brush. Right, okay. Oh, we're off, we're up and running. That's my ground, down. Now you haven't got the grasses we're after, but you can never have enough Rudbeckia. And this is Rudbeckia Goldstar, so I think we're going to get a few of those to add in to the bed that we've emptied out of Cosmos. We couldn't get home quick enough because I wanted to get these Rudbeckias in the ground. They're joining another lovely group that we already have. So, grow Rudbeckia. Shame we couldn't find the grasses, but I've seen them online, so I might order them online and get them in. So this is the, what would you call it, rusty coloured jumper. And it got me thinking, the rusty jumper got me thinking, can I find rust on the colour wheel? And I can. And it sits under red orange, so it's a shade of red orange. It's had black added to it. So I dug around in my scarves and found this orange is a bit strong, but the closest thing I could find to red orange. And then that got me thinking, that would make a fantastic painting combination, lovely colours for a painting. So, and then if you look, if I take the complementary arrow round to my rust, right, so we're on, there's the rust, complementary. So the complementary is a shade of blue-green. I don't seem to be able to get away from shades of blue-green at the moment, I've noticed. So if I've got something in blue-green, that would work to put with this sweater and in a painting. Right, okay, so I've come in this morning, I'm going to remove jumper, put my apron on and see what I'm going to be able to get down next. The photograph was taken at Hale Beach. It makes far more sense. I've moved the image closer to me. So that's all lovely and dry. So what do I feel like beginning? I feel like I want to make a start down here. Oh, I've just remembered, and I promised when I got back from Cornwall that I would tell you the make of the Aquatint pens. I think they're just called Aquatint, and now I've just realised I haven't got one of them up. I had to run down to fetch them. They're aqua markers, professional quality. That's all they've got written on them. They're aqua markers, and they have a brush, a brushy end, and a fine end. Okay, so where were we? So I put out some light green, and I'm going to put in some black, a bit of carbon black, probably too much, yeah, much too dark, much too much black. I'm quite heavy-handed. I'm just going to see what happens if I come in. I'm going to put a tiny bit of the nickel, this is nickel azo yellow, a golden. Indian yellow hue. I'm just experimenting. I'm just using this stick encourage me to keep quite loose, because as I've said lots of times, all these elements might well, and as you will know yourself, everything can change. So I do on occasion, well, many times think, well, I've messed that up. In the past, I just get frustrated and stop. Now I just think, well, just keep going, just push on. And so where I've got areas here that are very dense, I can come in and lift there. Okay, so I'll let that dry. Let that dry. I've pushed in, I had a lot, love those colours. I had a lot of paint that needed to be used up on here, so I'll leave it at that. I have limited time today, so you know, I'm quite happy if that's all I've got time for. And sometimes it's a really good thing because it stops you getting too carried away. For me, because I have that tendency to keep going and then think, oh, maybe I could have stopped. So I'm quite happy. I've got a couple of boards which will come to something, I'm sure. So, leaving it here then, all I can say is, if you're feeling like having a refresh, I'm sure it's to do with the changing seasons, go for it. Just gather up a bit of inspiration. The board, gathering images and things just helps me enormously. I'm not trying to replicate the colours. It's just giving me a way in. That's what I'm always looking for, a way in to begin, because once you begin, at this stage already, I know that I'll come in with fresh eyes tomorrow and it will start talking to me without me needing to reference very much. And I love that. I absolutely love that in painting. So I will next week, I will get mixing up that tan rust colour and have a bit of fun with that. And it puts me in mind, actually, there is the rust does sit in this Seven Sisters, I think, the inspiration here. It's in here. So I know now that I could actually make the water more of a shade of blue-green and it will complement really nicely. So the other thing I wanted to update, and I'm asked, and it's so lovely that people are so kind. I'm asked about my op. So can you believe it's nearly 3 months since I had my mastectomy? I was offered at the time reconstruction surgery, and it was a big decision. There was so much to think about, but that is what I ended up opting for. I didn't want to say anything because I've been waiting for the results, the histology, what came from surgery. They take lymph nodes, and I'm so relieved that they are clear. My heart goes out to people that are struggling. I don't have to have chemotherapy. I don't have to have radiotherapy. I will be contemplating taking hormone therapy, But before that, I'm going to have a bone density scan, a DEXA scan. So that is planned. But my heart does go out to people. I had no idea at the beginning of all of this that there are so many types of cancer, different stages, and everybody is completely different. And I am just so thankful and grateful. Thankful and grateful for all the good wishes that you guys sent me. I've had really, really positive comments from so many of you. So I just thought I'd let you know, because you've supported. I've felt the support, and I'm very grateful for it. So have a great week. Get planting. Get painting if you're not painting, and if you are painting, enjoy it, and stay loose and free, and have a fantastic week, everyone. And I will see you next time. Bye for now.